share the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. Child, the way you shake that thing, gonna make you burn, gonna make you scream. Oh, baby. Hey, baby, oh, baby, pretty baby, show me how you do it now. Hey, I gotta roll, I can't stand still, got a flaming heart, I'm gonna get my fill. Show me how you do it now.
Rose puts it in. Nice move from Pierce. Boozer puts it up. That's good. Kevin Garnett. Welcome to our Sunday showcase, a chilly afternoon in Boston, Massachusetts, but a sold-out TD Garden as the Celtics and Chicago Bulls will meet for the second time this season. And the Bulls will go without reigning MVP Derrick Rose, missing his 7th game of the season and 2nd straight with back spasms. Will not play today against the Boston Celtics. And good afternoon, everyone. Along with Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Green on hand, Doris Burke with us as well. For most teams, you lose the MVP, you're in big trouble. Not so with the Chicago Bulls. Best record in the NBA at 23-6. They've had all sorts of injury problems. They've been on the road 2/3 of their season, yet they're still having a magnificent season. They don't seem to miss a beat, Jeff.
No, and C.J. Watson is capable of big minutes and of playing a big game. His offensive talent is unquestioned. Now, where they will miss Rose is with his speed in transition, the ability to attack and get to the free throw line.
Watson part of maybe the best bench in the NBA with the Bulls. Meanwhile, they'll play a Celtics team might be a little ornery here this afternoon. They had one of their worst losses of the season Friday in Toronto against the Raptors. Doc Rivers very unhappy with his team.
And he should have been. They lost a tough home game to the Lakers by 1, played back-to-back, and played a very disinterested game in Toronto. I would be surprised if the core 4 of Rondo, Allen, Pierce, and Garnett don't respond in a big manner here today.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Taco Bell. And for Chicago, C.J. Watson, his 5th start of the season. Ronnie Brewer, he's the fill-in starter as well. No Rip Hamilton, with Dan Boozer and Noah. A strong front court for Tom Thibodeau. And for the Celtics, they've got a couple of players out, Jermaine O'Neal and Brandon Bass. So Chris Wilcox will get his first start of the season with the aforementioned core 4 Doc Rivers Celtics. Our Spanish language version of today's game presented by ESPN Deportes. Use the SAP button on your television as we're set to go at the TD Garden. These two teams played once already. It was here January 13th. Bulls won at 88-79. It was a roller coaster game where Chicago went up by as many as 20. Celtics stormed back, but the Bulls made the plays down the final stretch, something they've been doing all season long. Rondo forces up, the shot won't go. Noah the rebound. Jeff, when you look at it, 23-6 record. Rose has missed games. Luol Deng, Rip Hamilton, and all the road games. It's amazing where they are right now.
They've been by far the best team in the NBA. They in Oklahoma City. Their hunger to win is unquestioned. They come ready. And their defense and their rebounding keep them in games and win games, even when they've had to battle big-time injuries.
Kevin Garnett lines up the shot, knocks it down. Garnett's had some pretty good scoring games lately, a couple of 20-point games recently. Doc Rivers, as we've been saying all season long, has urged the perennial all-star to shoot more.
And I think teams, when defending Garnett, have to make him a driver. Too many people close out short and give him the jumper. They've got to make him put the ball on the ground.
Noah with a nice tip-in off Dang's miss. You saw Dang with that left wrist heavily taped. Dang also missed some serious time as well. Missed 7 games, and it's still not 100%. Won't be season, but has decided not to have surgery. All the Bulls players thinking this could be that special season for them. Watson taken away by Garnett. Outlet pass deflected and stolen by Brewer. Watson for 3. Off the mark, Wilcox the rebound. Watson a very good outside shooter. 7th in the NBA in three-point percentages. Rondo gets inside. Boston Celtics here at home, 10-7. They've had some stretches this year where they look terrific. They had won 9 of 10, including 5 in a row before their loss to the Lakers Thursday. Joakim Noah able to hit the jumper.
And he's putting his pistols in the holster early.
That's becoming very popular.
How can we make it unpopular to shoot guns? Seriously, in school, as Garnett cuts for a layup, if you did that in schools, public schools today, you're suspended.
That's right. So are you calling for suspension for NBA?
No, what I'm saying is, you know, we think that's that's not funny.
Well, the players seem to think it's part of the battle that they do. As Brewer throws it down low to Boozer. I would tend to agree with you, though.
And I'm sure 10-year-olds think the same thing.
Watson steps back, fires a three. Yeah, that won't go.
Gosh, I'm cranky already.
Garnett comes out fired up. Rondo runs into Watson and backs it in. He wanted a call. And a good aggressive play from Rondo.
But that's when Rondo is at his best. In the half court, you can make his lack of range shooting an issue. But in transition, there's no weapon for his speed.
Rondo called for the reach-in foul, his first.
Well, they're helping on the cut of Boozer, and that's not a pretty looking one, but he's a better shooter than, I mean, my goodness, than he's given credit for.
Well, Russell Westbrook's very into putting the gun in the holster after a big three-pointer as well. Didn't you play Cowboys and Indians when you were a kid?
I love that non-call right there by Watson diving into Garnett. Yeah, of course I did, but that's not politically correct anymore.
Oh, I suppose you're right. Rondo gets inside. Another nice drive. And a very aggressive Rajon Rondo already with 6 points. And Tom Thibodeau has seen enough early. His team, who has been sensational defensively recently, has seen Rajon Rondo get to them early. Tom Thibodeau wants a 20-second timeout. Rondo averaging a career-high point so far this year, off to an excellent start.
February 85, $5 footlong.
February's on. Any regular footlong is a $5 footlong all day long. Subway, eat fresh.
Join the celebration. It's Subway Footlong Nation Appreciation. We're giving away a prize a minute plus free footlongs for life. Grab a 30-ounce drink or Doritos chips for your chance to win big. Subway, where winners eat.
Welcome back to Boston, where the Celtics have an early 6-point lead. Well, Derrick Rose missing today his 7th game. Mike, you touched on that. In the 3 prior seasons, he had missed a total of 6. The origin of this injury dates back to his senior year in high school. But back then, when the spasms occurred, he was able to get it under control in about a week's time. It did not affect him at all in his 1 year at Memphis. It wasn't until this road trip that the back was so inflamed that it's concerning enough, Mike, that he will see a specialist tomorrow in Chicago. He actually used the word, "I'm scared. What scares me is the pain. If it were simply tight, I could play through it." He said, "It's killing me not to play in any games, but especially against high-caliber competition like the Boston Celtics." And Tom Thibodeau said, "Hey, our concern is it's not improving, and thus we're going to make this a little bit more aggressive in how we address it, guys."
All right, Doris, as anybody who's ever had back spasms, as Rondo knocks down another, there is nothing more painful. By the way, nice to see Doris Birch, who's left her college sabbatical to come join us on the NBA circuit for a change.
Yep, had West Virginia, Louisville yesterday.
Brewer to Noah. Noah with the left hand. Nice banker and good ball movement.
And they are so much better when Noah's aggressive offensively. To me, Chicago has every base covered, except sometimes they're too one-dimensional offensively as Wilcox lays it in.
Nice pass from Ray Allen. And Chris Wilcox, who's had some good moments this year for the Celtics when he's been healthy, and has a chance for a three-point play.
Great movement off the ball and a great drop-off pass by Ray Allen. They played together in Seattle. And Wilcox has always struggled at the defensive end, but he has great hands and has always been able to finish on the move.
This is Wilcox's 10th year. He's played for 5 different teams. He's never been in a playoff game, and all the teams he's played for, and certainly has a chance this year to experience the postseason, and he's been a solid player off the bench. Although call for a foul there. Wilcox was a winner in college, won a national title at Maryland back in 2002, went to a couple of Final Fours, but he's bounced around with the Clippers. You mentioned Seattle and Oklahoma City. Brief stint with the Knicks, last year with Detroit. Celtics with an 8-point lead. You knew they were going to come out aggressively after the way they played on Friday night and the way their head coach went at them. Luol Deng, shot won't go. But he draws the foul. Paul Pierce will pick up his first. And Pierce, who made another All-Star team, fouling Luol Deng, who made his first All-Star team. And Jeff, I know you believe there's not many guys more in the league who's deserved it, because he's finally getting the recognition, Luol Deng.
Yeah, last year I thought he should have made it as well. Very good complementary player to Derrick Rose. Has extended his shooting range. To me, is an all-defensive type of player. Improved off the dribble. Very good without the ball cutting and rebounds. I mean, he really does a little bit of everything.
Doc Rivers calling him, said he was a role-playing all-star in that no matter what you needed from him. If he had to lead the team in scoring, he could do it. If he just had to rebound and defend, he could do it. Tom Thibodeau says he's his best defender on a team loaded with good defenders. Pierce looking to operate against Deng. Deng does a good job, and Pierce just does a better job.
Pierce did a great job of using his body to create some space against the length of Deng.
Watson pass deflected. Pierce. Celtics forced a turnover. Here comes Rondo. Nice pass back to Wilcox. On the unselfish play of Rajon Rondo, and the Celtics with a double-figure lead. Timeout, and here come the standing ovation from the Celtic fans.
Celtics pick and roll defense has been active and aggressive. There, Pierce gets a deflection of a C.J. Watson pass. Rondo unselfishly to Wilcox. Celtics up 11.
John Barry back in the LA studios. Great finish up in Toronto. Lakers down 1. Kobe Bryant baseline knocks down the J. Lakers lead 93-92. Toronto goes to DeMar DeRozan. World met a piece with the good stop. Lakers get the win in Toronto. Back to Mike and Jeff.
Thank you, JB. Lakers now will go back home. Chicago ready to go back home. This is the 9th game of their road trip, and they're playing against the Celtic team once again, very strong defensively.
And they do a great job impacting pick and roll basketball. Their length, their knowledge, and their experience makes them very difficult to create quality shots on a nightly basis.
Loose ball foul called against the Celtics. Jawan Johnson, the rookie from Purdue, who just checked in, pushed off. Johnson, 6'10", 220, good size. Was a first-round pick of the Nets and then traded to Boston for Marshawn Brooks. Had a great year last year in the Big Ten. But with all the injuries, getting some early minutes here. Again, no Jermaine O'Neal, no Brandon Bass, as Wilcox picks up his second. It's not what Doc Rivers needs with his front court already depleted.
But I like the strategy of going to Boozer. It's important with Rose out that they have more than C.J. Watson's pick and roll game or Deng off the dribble. Boozer has to deliver. That time he's cutting, and they plowed through the screen of Noah. Noah off to a very good start.
Noah's had a terrific stretch the last dozen or so games, and despite that form, he's shooting 76% from the free throw line. Struggled early, but now look at the last 13 games. Not only those numbers, Jeff, his energy that is his #1 strength is back.
Well, you know the thing besides his enthusiasm and his energy that I like is his ability, even at a smaller size for a center, to dominate a game at times with his rebounding effort. And you don't find too many people that rebound like he does, that pass like he does.
Very skilled big man. Brewer on Ray Allen as we're at the midway point of the first. An excellent start for the Boston Celtics. And an offensive foul. Moving screen called. Johnson. So 2 quick fouls on Jawan Johnson. Celtics, by the way, as again going to the bench early. Greg Stiesma, the rookie from Wisconsin, he's in as well.
And people say, well, why are the Celtics 14-12? Well, Pierce was out early, but their talent has taken a consistent slide down. Not only has the big three gotten older as Boozer lines up the 18-footer, but their supporting cast has dropped each and every year. And with Jeff Green being out for the season, they just really don't have a lot of depth.
The Green injury really put a dent into what could have been certainly a much better bench as Pierce trying to operate. Hand in his face, and Boozer the rebound. 7-point lead for the Celtics. With just under 5.5 remaining in the first. Boston trying to bounce back after 2 tough losses. Lakers beat them here on Thursday, then that bad loss against the Raptors. Boozer shot in and out. Rebound Brewer back up and in.
But that's what Chicago has to play through Boozer. He's got a experience and talent advantage right now over Stiemsa, even though Stiemsa has shot blocking ability, but you have to try to exploit that matchup and get some easy baskets in the post.
Rondo left open. And rebound Dang. Dang's averaging over 7 boards a game this year, all part of his all-star credentials. Boozer against Johnson, a rookie, goes in strong. Nice play, Carlos Boozer, saying I got hit in the head. And an 8-0 run now for the Bulls. They're right back within 3. It's Doc Rivers' time to call timeout. So a good start. The Boozer and the Bulls coming back nicely, Jeff.
Good offensive adjustment. Throw it into the post to Carlos Boozer. A perennial 28-point game scorer. Good little jump hook in the middle.
The offensive pressure when we get turnovers have been great. We got to keep the pressure. Keep the offensive pressure on. Let's get our defense straightened out first, okay? Get our defense. We got to keep the ball in front. Then we got to challenge shots.
The 2 head coaches who lose their voices every game they coach are good buddies. Spent 3 terrific seasons together. Tom Thibodeau was Doc Rivers' assistant, helped them win a championship in 2008. And of course, the 2 finals, the loss to the Lakers in 2010 as well. And now Tom Thibodeau, the head coach, they've remained close and talk all the time, Jeff.
Yeah, there's a special bond when you work with someone. And Tom is one of the most loyal people you'd ever want to deal with. I'm not surprised they've remained good friends.
Shot clock winding down. Dang, good defense. Rondo's going to have to throw it up. Rondo steps back and comes up short. Stiemsma comes out of nowhere and gets the board. Rondo back to Johnson. Johnson chucks one up. Not a great shot there. Boozer the rebound. By the way, you talk about loyalty. Obviously, you know he was your assistant both in New York and Houston. Asked Derrick Rose yesterday, what's Tom Thibodeau really like? And that's the first word he used about Thibodeau. He's so loyal. Boozer knocks down the shot.
And like when you're guarding Garnett, I think at this point in Boozer's career, you have to take away that face-up jump shot. You have to challenge him to drive. He'd much rather drive left than right, even though he's a right-handed shooter, and Pierce knocks it in. So you got to close to him and make him put that ball on the floor to his right hand.
Paul Pierce now with 4. What a week for Pierce. He passes Larry Bird. The all-time scoring list for the Celtics. Now only John Havlicek ahead. Nice backdoor, but deflected. Pierce did a good job. Ahead to Rondo. Celtics have a 3-on-2. Michael Pietrus puts in a 3. Pietrus has been a nice addition for this team. We've talked about it. He was a big part of Orlando's run to the finals in 2009. Provides some defense and 3-point shooting. Boozer shoots over the rookie.
But Steamsma's long. He did a good job right there impacting that shot.
Rondo. Luol Deng in and out. Deng 0 for 4 to start. Pierce gets by him and try to get inside to Johnson, but it goes out of bounds. 4th turnover for the Celtics. Gear up for the All-Star game, plus get free shipping on all orders over $99 tonight at NBAstore.com. Use promo code BASKETFS. Of course, Derrick Rose a starter. Luol Deng voted in by the coaches for his very first All-Star appearance. Pierce back once again. Pierce with his 10th All-Star appearance. That's got to be, for a guy like Luol Deng who's worked so hard, what a thrill. And he'll understand what it's all about when he gets to Orlando. There's the block from Steamsma. Right back at Taj Gibson. Rondo puts it in and a foul. Steamsma with a terrific authoritative rejection, and Rondo goes down the other end.
Well, Steamsma had a big game earlier in the year with block shots there. Great challenge. Soft foul by Watson. Great finish by Rondo. And the turnovers and the blocks are leading to easy offense for the Celtics.
And there you see, he had that 6-block game in his first NBA game. A rookie from Wisconsin who last year playing Turkey. He's 6'11", 260. He led the D-League in blocks, was the D-League Defensive Player of the Year. And only Sean Bradley has more blocks in his first game than Steamsma. Bradley had 8. Of course, the blocks didn't start being recorded as a stat since the early 70s, so there's probably a lot of other guys that had it as well, but a nice mark for Steamsma. Celtics back up by 9. It's been a game of runs here in the first quarter. Noah, pass inside. Gibson trying to find room. Poked away by Noah. Korver looks to save it. Nice play from Korver. Watson sets up and knocks down a 3. First Noah's hustle, then Korver. Good sight across the court, Jeff.
To your best range shooter other than Korver.
You know, you just watch Rose sitting on the bench like that. Johnson's going to shoot again, in and out. He just looks miserable, the fact that he can't play. Alley-oop to Noah, and Steamsma with a foul. Steamsma his first foul.
Well, Korver's falling out of bounds does a great job not only finding Watson, but putting it right on the money. Great play by Kyle Korver.
Again, Korver, another part of this bench. Korver, Watson, Sheik, Taj Gibson. Yeah, a very deep team. And they all contribute in various ways. Just terrific players to come off your bench, Jeff.
Well, the size that they bring off the bench in Gibson and Ashiq, and then the shooting with Korver and Watson. You know, they both have distinct talents and traits that can make them starters.
And if you take, again, if Rip Hamilton's healthy, and that's been a big if this year, then Brewer is also part of that bench.
Yeah, Rip Hamilton has barely played. And if I'm the Bulls, I'm starting to get worried about him, because it has been a long time for seemingly an injury that would normally take less.
He's only played 11 games, missed 17. Here's Avery Bradley. Bradley in and out. Johnson the rebound. Back up and in.
And Avery Bradley could be the best on-ball point guard defender in the NBA.
Now, some people saying that, what are you talking about? There are a lot of people who agree with you, Jeff, including Doc Rivers. Watson gets in and draws the foul as he stayed with the play.
This guy makes it miserable for opposing point guards there. Gave an angle to C.J. Watson at the end, but for the most part really dictated that entire possession from the make all the way through the drive.
And Doc Rivers said one game earlier this season, I think it was against Orlando, he said that Bradley had one of the best individual defensive games he's ever seen in all his years in the NBA. Bradley, in his second year, played his college ball at Texas just one season. A first-round pick last year of the Celtics. He's from Tacoma, Washington, and then lived in Arlington, Texas for a long time, but he can defend. He was telling me before the game he's had some guys say to him, hey, you don't have to play this kind of defense all game long. Like, lighten up, buddy. That's pretty impressive.
If so, those players should be banned immediately from the NBA. What a cowardice way to, you don't have to play this hard. What do you want him to do?
Well, perhaps it was Keon Dooling misfires and the shot clock's turned off. Maybe it was in a blowout game and he was still in their face, but you love that about him. He's just tenacious defensively.
And he's got to somehow find a way to make a shot.
Watson beats him off the dribble that time. Garnett greets him, blocks the shot. Garnett's going to heave it, but it won't count. And that will end the first quarter. Celtics started off strong, went up by 11. Bulls came back on a 10-0 run. As Carlos Boozer doing a lot of the scoring without Derrick Rose. But Rondo finishing well, 11 points for Rondo. And after one, Celtics by 5. Greg Willard, the crew chief here this afternoon, says the first quarter is not over. There's still a tenth of a second remaining.
That is such a fine call. to put 1/10 of a second where you can't even take a shot anyway back on.
There was a travel on Kevin
Yeah,
Garnett.
that's what I just love.
Now the only way is if you throw the ball above the rim and it's tipped in without any control.
Guarding anybody anywhere?
At the very least, just throw it up in the rim and see. It's kind of like a Hail Mary, right?
If I was a team to protest, I would have just kept taking a 5-second count and made it go on forever.
Maybe they don't want to talk about Hail Marys in Boston right now, though.
Welcome back to Boston with Chicago coach Tom Thibodeau. What allowed Boston to get off to such a good start?
Well, they hurt us in transition to start the game. They got some easy baskets. Now they're playing with a lot of confidence offensively.
You called Rajon Rondo an offense onto himself. He hurt you in that period. How do you do a better job with him?
Well, you can never relax. He's going to keep constant pressure on you. But again, we allowed him to get those easy baskets, the layups early, so now he's playing at a high level. We got to make him play in the crowd, and then when he does shoot, we got to get up and challenge his shot.
Tom, thanks. Mike.
All right, Doris. Rondo, 11 points, 2 assists, a couple of rebounds after a rough performance Friday night. Terrific in the first quarter. You know, Doc Rivers was telling us before the game, Jeff, that what made him so mad on Friday night, that's as mad as we've seen him in a long time, called a timeout, really went after him as Watson misses. Ball knocked loose. Sheik with a good play. Korver, a little fake, fires up a 3. Rebound tipped and taken by Keon Dooling ahead to Petrus. And Dooling will set it up. And so what made him so mad is he just felt the team didn't show any mental toughness, and he said, we're not as talented anymore. Johnson falls down. We have to have that mental toughness.
Well, there's no doubt there has been as John Lucas misses the pull-up, and Asik gets the offensive rebound. And Asik, that's what he's got to be able to finish quicker, Mike. He's such a good rebounder and defender. But he's got to be able to get it on either a drop-off pass or a second shot and get his shot off sooner. But going back to the mental toughness, the core 4 has aged, except for Rondo, obviously. And their supporting cast talent and skill level has dropped. So they have to be strong mentally to be, 4, 5, 6, 7 seed and have a chance in a first-round playoff series.
Obviously, nobody wants to play either Chicago or Miami in that first round. Sheik picking up his first foul. Garnett early on, 4 points and 4 boards. Right now, you look at the standings. Chicago, Miami right up there. Philadelphia, nice bounce back win last night after a couple of losses. Atlanta has been kind of gone under the radar, how well they've played. Indiana as well. And right now, the Celtics in the 7th spot after the 2-game losing streak. Garnett 1 for 2. Celtics by 4. Just over a minute gone by here in the second. Chicago looking to make it 2 in a row. Bradley a little over-aggressive that time. And called for his first personal. He's in your face as soon as the ball comes across half court.
And give him credit. He knows he's a struggling jump shooter. So the way he's going to get playing time in this league is to be a dominant defender.
Watson. C.J. Watson in and out. Garnett lost it. The Celtics hold on. And here comes Dooling. Dooling had missed 16 of the last 17 games. The last 9 had a hip pointer. They were hoping he would be a nice player off the bench. He just has not been healthy. But the veteran could add something as Garnett's jump shot won't go. And John Lucas the rebound. Gibson back out. Watson pulls up. Sheik another offensive board. Gathers, goes up, block. I think it was Garnett who got it. Johnson was there as well. And a nice defensive play. They give the block to Johnson.
But you see how he has to bring it back down all the way below his waist to gather. You've got to be able to get it off quickly and also be able to pivot in there to create an angle and a space to get a little jump hook off.
There's Lucas, the son of the former #1 pick and former NBA All-Star coach John Lucas. He's the 3rd string point guard. Gibson lost it. Garnett gets it. Sheik dives on the floor. Lucas fires a 3 and nails it. He started a game earlier this season when Rose was out and Watson was out. It was his first NBA start. He had 25 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds.
Matched up against John Wall of the Wizards. And if you were at the game or watched the game, he played so well, so happy for his level of perseverance.
Bradley knocks down the jumper. Tom Thibodeau calls a play out. And if you're just tuning in, no Derrick Rose. Lucas misses that one. Ball batted out by Johnson, but right to Chicago. Watson had a similar game last year filling in for Rose. He can light it up in a hurry. Korver launches. Well, you can hear Tom Thibodeau's voice screaming across the court. Bradley another jumper. We talk about his defense, that's why he's out there, but showing a nice perimeter shot here. And Celtics back up by 5. Lucas, no hesitation, and nails it again. They were teasing him. They were calling him Kobe Lucas, Mini Rose after that 25-point game. He is not afraid to get involved.
No, he's played in the NBA. He's been a big-time scorer in the D-League and overseas. And when given a chance as the 3rd point guard, in brief minutes has played well.
Garnett tied up. Keon Dooling's going to have to put it up. And Dooling's shot won't go. Sheik the rebound. Ahead, Gibson outrunning everybody down the floor. Gathers, blocked, but a foul. And as Taj Gibson will shoot free throws after this timeout. Boston with a 3-point advantage.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Here in Boston, especially up at Harvard Square. Who are they talking about these days? Who else? Jeremy Lin, who played his college basketball at Harvard, 2-time Ivy League first team, and now the starting point guard for the New York Knicks. In his first NBA start, 28 points, 8 assists. He went 5 straight games, 5 straight Knick wins, including a 38-point game Friday night against the LA Lakers, and he is the sensation in New York City. It really is, as we've said a number of times, it's what we love about sports. Here's this underdog, comes out of nowhere, and helps lift up a team that has been going through all sorts of struggles. He's got such humility, and finally getting a chance. It's really been a wonderful story, Jeff.
And the ability to make his teammates play to their maximum ability. Starting lineup, Jeremy Lin, Landry Fields, Billy Walker, Jared Jeffries, Tyson Chandler. Won 5 in a row. Good for them, playing hard, playing well, playing together. And last night, Mike, to be fair, played a very poor second half, but they got great contributions from Fields and Novak, Jeffries and Chandler, and Shumpert.
Just incredible numbers. And again, as you mentioned, shorthanded with Amari Stoudemire and Carmelo Anthony out of the lineup. They're on a season-high 5-game winning streak.
But it shows you can't define chemistry, but you know it when you see it on the basketball court. They're playing for each other right now versus playing with each other. And when you play for one another, the galvanizing effect is that you play better as a group than you might be able to play if you were trying to play solo.
He has lifted the spirit of that team. And again, it's still a simple game where it's 5 guys.
And the other impact is they're defending. You put Jared Jeffries and Tyson Chandler together in a front court, you're going to play good defense. It's a much better defensive team that they have on the floor right now.
And so many NBA players have been talking about it. So, like for example, Brian Scalabrine before the game, he goes, I got to ask you about Jeremy Lin. Everybody around the league talking about it. Such a feel-good story. Oh, nice pass, Rondo. And Wilcox with the finish.
And that's always been Chris Wilcox's strength. The rim-to-rim run in transition, great hands, terrific finish off a nice feed by Rondo.
Wilcox first start of the season, 6 points, couple of rebounds. Luol Deng back in. I don't know if that was a pass. I think it was. And Noah was out of bounds.
You're always trying to get your bigs to sprint the floor to put maximum pressure on the defensive transition. Great pass, great catch.
Right, he puts a little English on it and in the perfect spot. Rondo 11 points, 3 assists. Rondo playing superbly so far this afternoon. Approaching the midway point, second quarter. In a game of runs so far, Juwan Johnson gets it to go. He was a big scorer last year at Purdue. Led the Big Ten in scoring at over 20 a game. Getting a chance to play again. No Jermaine O'Neal, no Brandon Bass. So Doc Rivers going with the likes of Chris Wilcox. He's running the floor nicely.
Well, not many people in the world can make that pass. The Celtics are lucky that Rondo's one of them.
Jeremy Lin can.
Homer. Celtics up 6.
Back in Boston, in the heart of the Amazon, one family will risk it all to find their missing father. From executive producer Steven Spielberg, TV's newest phenomenon, The River, all new Tuesday, 9, 8 Central on ABC. As we listen to Doc Rivers' recent huddle with the Celtics.
Keep pushing the ball, keep pushing the break. Everybody to the glass. Run, 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 run. Let's stretch right here, guys. We got to extend this lead, all right? Got to extend this lead. Don't forget, every time we get the rebound, we're sprinting the ball up the floor.
Meanwhile, third quick foul on Wilcox. Doc Rivers shorthanded in the front court. And now Wilcox with 3. Juwan Johnson has 3. And Boozer to the line. Carlos Boozer now in his 10th year. He's 30. Excellent players, put up terrific numbers for a lot of years. Take some criticism in Chicago, and he's not the perfect player, Jeff, but the guy, he can score, he gets rebounds.
It's not his numbers. Some nights it does not look defensively like he's all in. And if they're to win it, they need everybody all in defensively because they need his offense on the floor.
Pierce trying to coax that one in. And Pierce off the mark. Celtics still shooting 55% from the field. Watson gets inside. He got a quick first step. Hasn't been able to hit. He's just 2 for 10. He has taken over Derrick Rose's role and is looking to shoot. Johnson, they're leaving him wide open. That's the second one he's hit. 6 points overall with a couple of nice perimeter jumpers. Boozer. Noah trying to keep it alive. Takes it away from Johnson. Back up. Tip won't go. Wilcox able to get it. Again, Johnson open. Not that time. Pass on the rim a couple of times.
But I like the confidence he's playing with offensively. If they're going to ignore you, you have to be ready to catch and shoot.
Boozer catches, drives, left-handed, blocked by Johnson. Ball nearly tipped in. Watson comes up with it, and C.J. Watson lays it in. Watson, an unknown player from a lot of the casual fans. It's his 5th year out of Tennessee. Wasn't drafted. Got cut by a couple of teams, then played in Italy, the Greece, the D-League. Now his 2nd year with Chicago. Started off his career at Golden State. Has shown he can score. Ray Allen back in. Allen all the way to the rim and draws the foul. I think it was Boozer that hit him.
Chicago foul is on number 5, Carlos Boozer. That's his 2nd.
Let's take a look at the NBA National Television Big Board. Tuesday on NBA TV, Heat and Pacers. That should be a good one in Indiana. Washington and Portland, the 2nd game. Thursday on TNT, these two teams will meet again in Chicago. It's been a long time since the Bulls have been home. Clippers in Portland, and then next Sunday, Mavericks and Knicks in New York. And Derrick Rose hoping to be ready to play in that game or the next one. How about this road trip? 9 games for Tom Thibodeau's team. And the last 4 games they've won on this trip, they've won by 20 or more. No team has ever done that in the NBA, to win 4 straight consecutive road games by 20 or more.
They're so incredibly focused and determined. I have great respect for how they go about their jobs. But can we come to an agreement? Can Washington be banned from national TV? No, I'm serious. What do they do to deserve to be on national TV?
You talked earlier about kind of a part-time commitment to defense. That's sometime with the Wizards.
No, that would be an upgrade if they committed part-time.
It has been a tough year. Boozer drives in. Blocked by Wilcox. Rondo has it. Rondo tried to get it to Johnson. Deflects right to Wilcox. Stolen by Brewer. Good anticipation, and Brewer will have an easy 2. And Chicago right back within 2. Celtics have played well offensively, although 7 turnovers have hurt them. Coming up on 3 minutes remaining here in this first half. Pierce, nice spin move. Gathers. Nope. A travel. Pierce puzzled. Doc Rivers not happy.
A good initial footwork to spin off. That's a missed call.
Yeah, I think he held the pivot foot. Boozer poked away by Wilcox. Another good defensive play. Rondo to Pierce, back to Rondo. Nice Celtic teamwork, all started by Wilcox's defense down the other end. Wilcox has had some good moments this year, Jeff.
He's played very hard.
Hasn't been healthy. Getting his first start here this afternoon. Ray Allen. And Johnson comes up with a loose ball. Allen. Too far ahead. And the ooze from the crowd as Wilcox enjoying that first start.
Well, good deflection as Wilcox circled baseline to deflect the pass. Rondo to Pierce, back to Rondo. Good Celtic transition offense.
Late second quarter in Boston. Celtics by 4. Doc Rivers wants to keep the pedal to the metal here this afternoon.
Every time we get the rebound, we're sprinting the ball up the floor, all right?
Well, he asked for it, he got it. Good brush screen by Garnett in transition, leads to a Rondo layup. Great defense, draws the crowd of defenders. I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. Petrus 3, and then a great pass by Rondo to the sprinting big.
Would you call that a brush screen?
Brush screen, yeah.
I don't think C.J. Watson thought that was a brush. He took a shot there.
Well, that was a shoulder. Hey, I'm going to tell you what. No one has set more illegal screens in their career than Garnett and gotten away with it. For whatever reason, no one will ever call him. He must have like one of those things where he's got a get out of jail free card, because he's never called for illegal screens. But I love that he's a willing screener. Well, that's just sort of a, yeah, that's a brush.
Oh, yeah, Watson took a
Little
shot.
Shoulder to the throat.
Meanwhile, Watson the foul down the other end. Garnett, you know, we've talked about it for years, one of the great careers in the NBA. Now 17th year. He's going to be 36 come playoff time. And obviously not putting the numbers up he used to, but still plays with the same passion almost every single night. It's hard to believe, too. I mean, all those years with Minnesota. This is now his 5th year in Boston. Remember all the time he used to get criticism in Minnesota because he passed too much? Remember that stretch when they said he kept passing too much?
Well, first of all, you have to treat criticism the same as you treat praise, as if neither one's important, because it isn't. And if you do treat praise and criticism equally, you'll never be stung by the criticism.
That's a really good point.
It is.
They just praised you, so you don't care about it, is what
No,
you're
it doesn't matter. Because the people who are criticized Garnett for passing too much don't know basketball. So why would you give them, why would their praise excite you or their criticism hurt you? They don't know what they're talking about.
Rondo knocks down a jumper. What a first half for Rondo. 16 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and a steal. Dang, difficult shot, in and out. And Luol Deng 0 for 5 on an afternoon without Derrick Rose, down just 1 point. Rondo's going to try again.
Look, when you look at how poorly the Bulls have shot it, you're amazed that they're in the game. And the reason they're in the game is free throws and rebounding.
Well, they're shooting 33% from the field, but they have 11 offensive rebounds. I mean, that's a huge disparity shooting, but it's only down by 5. Don't forget, coming up the halftime show, Michael Wilbon, John Barry, Magic Johnson, Chris Broussard. Lakers in a thriller earlier today up in Toronto. And some first half analysis from our game here in Boston. Rondo, little fake. Finds its way to Garnett. The high shot from Garnett, that high release.
And I think you could have made a case for Garnett to be on the All-Star team as the backup center.
14 consecutive All-Star nods, but not this year. He said he was very happy for the first-timers and happy to get a little vacation. Dang, inside, nice feed. And Boozer able to finish. Shot clock turned off. Rondo lets it go all the way up to the three-point line. And now Doc Rivers calls a timeout.
20-second timeout, Celtics.
So a 20-second timeout. Kevin Garnett with 7 points for the Celtics. His shot so difficult to block, that high release. As Boston with a 5-point lead. Wednesday night on ESPN at 10 Eastern start. The Blazers, coached by Nate McMillan. The Warriors, coached by Mark Jackson. Coming up on Wednesday. How's he doing so far?
Well, they've been in some very good games, tough games. Lost some heartbreakers to some quality teams at home. They just don't have enough in the front court or enough depth to win consistently. But their guard play has been good. He's got some great production out of David Lee. I think he's done a fabulous job so far.
There are some days when you say stuff where I'm just desperate for him to help me out. Pierce on the move. Kicks it out, Ray Allen for three. And there's the buzzer ending the first half. Celtics raced out to an 11-point lead. Chicago kept coming back. They were without Derrick Rose today, sitting out with the back spasms. But the Bulls bench, as usual, made a nice comeback, cut it to 1. And right now it's a 5-point advantage. After the break, Michael Wilbon, John Barry, Magic Johnson, Chris Broussard will have the halftime show. The Lakers won one down to the final seconds up in Toronto. A thrilling finish and some first half analysis. The story for the Celtics, Rajon Rondo right from the start, very aggressive. Some beautiful passes, one of his 6 assists, knocking down some jumpers, 2 of his 16 points. Big reason why Boston's up 5. Welcome back to Boston and a sold-out TD Garden. They've enjoyed what they've seen in the first half. Celtics with a 48-43 lead as Paul Pierce and his team looking to snap their 2-game losing streak. With that 5-point lead as we get set for the third quarter. Hi again, everyone, with Jeff, Mike Breen on hand. We'll check in with Doris Burke in just a moment. You could tell right from the opening tip, Rajon Rondo, who did not play well Friday night and that lost to Toronto, wanted to make amends. He was terrific.
Well, they're at their best, the Celtics are, when Rondo is in transition, playing fast. First half, through great defense, they were able to play fast. Here, you look at the Rondo 2-step. Right foot down, left foot avoids the full-fledged contact, takes a little bit of a bump and finishes. And then in transition, he knows he has Wilcox running to his left. Great bounce pass on target to the sprinting Wilcox. And then if they dare you to shoot on the pick and roll, do they go wonder? You've got to be able to knock in that 17-footer to keep them honest. 16 points, 6 assists. Most importantly, set a great tone of playing quick and fast.
Knocked some perimeter jumpers down as well. Meanwhile, for Chicago, again, without their leading scorer, Derrick Rose, missing his 2nd straight with that back spasm stuff. But he got some help from guys who obviously have to pick up the slack offensively.
Chicago played very poorly offensively, particularly from the perimeter. Dang, 2nd leading scorer, doesn't make a shot, so they have to play inside more. Boozer is capable of putting up big numbers with these jumpers, and then they've got to pound the boards. They got to pound the paint in the second half and pound the boards. Noah, Boozer, and Gibson are particularly adept at that type of game.
And you see both in double figures. As you mentioned, Luol Deng, 0 for 5, just 1 point. But if you're Chicago, you look at that first half, you shoot 34% from the field. Your opponent shoots 55%, and you're only down by 5. So that's a positive for the Bulls. And as we check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Mike, you think after the half Rajon had, Jeff just alluded to it, he would be the guy we'd interview, but he sprinted off the opposite end. I said, were you looking to avoid me? He said, no, it's shorter. But I did ask him coming out of the locker room how important it was for his team after the back-to-back losses, particularly disappointing in Toronto, to get off to a fast start. He said it was crucial. He said, frankly, we were not feeling very good about ourselves. He said, my mindset coming in was to get us out in transition and try to get some easy opportunities. He said, now the question is, can we sustain it? We'll see.
Yeah, Doris, after that game, Doc Rivers said, we were awful. Our effort was awful. I shouldn't have to beg guys to play hard. He was as annoyed as he's been certainly all season. They have come out with some good intensity here in the first half as we get set for that third quarter. And Celtics right now just 2 games over 500. There's a huge disparity in the field goal percentage, but then look at the offensive rebounds. And the Bulls, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the NBA, and they do it even when they don't miss shots.
And the free throw line, Mike. Getting to the free throw line and making and converting is so critical when you're trying to stick in a game where you're not shooting the ball particularly well.
Luol Deng gets inside, knocked away by Garnett, picked up by Rondo. Garnett had 3 blocks in the first half. Rondo's runner gets the bounce. An attacking Rajon Rondo here this afternoon. Watson Pass deflects off Luol Deng's leg. We're just watching Paul Pierce. The transition he's made, or the improvement he's made as a defender over the years.
Well, there's no doubt. I think Garnett transformed their team, along with Doc Rivers and Tom Thibodeau, into a defensive-oriented, tough-minded, grinded-out mentality. And when that threesome came together, I think they all sacrificed shots and committed to playing the type of defense that Garnett has set a standard for throughout his NBA career.
Ray Allen misfires. Ball batted around. Bulls come up with it. Yeah, Paul Pierce he's had quite a journey here in Boston. Many thought it wouldn't continue in Boston for a long time, including Pierce. But now in his 14th season, all with the Celtics. And he's amongst the leaders in so many different categories. Joakim Noah to the basket. 14 points for Noah.
When he's aggressive, they have a chance to be a better playoff offensive team. If and when they meet Miami again, they need more options than Derrick Rose. And this is the type of play, if they're going to ignore you or halfway you, drive the ball and finish with strength.
Good aggressive move. Meanwhile, Ray Allen got fouled by Boozer, so he'll shoot two. Well, you talk about the other options. That's where getting Rip Hamilton healthy somehow is so important. It was such a terrific pickup when they signed him, but they just need him out on the court. Hamilton with all the playoff experience and a guy that obviously can score.
And really, you don't know what he has left basketball-wise. He had a very interesting year last year with Detroit.
Interesting?
Yeah, interesting, in and out of the lineup for a variety of reasons. And then this year, he hasn't really even had a chance to play consistently due to the injury. So they've got to try to get him back here soon so they can start developing some chemistry.
No timetable yet. He's had groin and thigh issues. Brewer misfires. Wilcox tips it. Rondo off to the races again. Rondo back to Wilcox that throws it down. What a great pass from Rondo. And Wilcox getting the start with no Jermaine O'Neal or Brandon Bass. His first start of the year has 8 points. Celtics in 9-point lead. Watson, good open look. That's a three.
And that's an unnecessary gamble by Rondo there to try to cheat up for the steal and leave a 46% shooter with the easiest three-point shot in the corner.
Rondo, a superb defender, but does like to gamble. Pierce against Noah. Offensive foul. Excellent defense from Noah.
And that's another underrated aspect of Noah's game. The ability to be able to switch onto some small forwards and contain the ball. You see the switch on the pick and roll, contains the ball, does a good job of staying in front of Pierce and drawing the offensive foul.
They're calling the foul on Garnett for pushing off on Deng.
I think that's a misannouncement by the PA.
All right, we'll check. A misannouncement. First time I heard use that one. Boozer, top of the key. That's good. And just like that, Bulls back within 4. Boozer 12, Noah 14, Watson 11. 3 players in double figures. And no Derrick Rose today, missing his 7th game of the season and 2nd straight with back spasms. The other 5 with that toe injury. Pierce steps back again. Noah right in his face. Wilcox trying to keep it alive. Didn't know where the ball was. And they're going to say Celtics get it. New 24.
Wilcox has made some great effort plays tonight. That's an example. The previous dunk started when he tipped a defensive rebound to Garnett and sprinted and still beat every big down the floor. That type of energy is exactly what an older Boston team needs.
Noah against Garnett. They've battled as Garnett makes a nice running move. 9 points, 7 boards for Garnett. Garnett, by the way, now has 4 block shots as well. Watson backdoor, misses the layup, and Wilcox the rebound. Rondo to Garnett, and he's hit. Shot won't count. Came on the first attempt with 2 free throws. As Noah picks up his first.
Well, very good move by Garnett. Noah's doing the right thing, pushing up on Garnett's jumper, sweeps it by him, takes it to the middle, and then again his length pays off, and no Chicago defender came down from the perimeter to try to dig and help Noah on that one-on-one attack.
So Garnett grabbing the hip a little bit as the free throw bounces around and drops in. Boston back up by 7. Again, you look at Garnett, Pierce, Ray Allen. What does Danny Ainge do as this team gets older? Does he trade one of the big guys a year before, or does he wait for their contract to expire? Does he feel they still have a shot at winning the championship this year? A lot of difficult decisions for Danny Ainge.
I don't think anyone in Boston, other than the Celtics themselves, but Danny Ainge in particular, thinks they're a championship caliber team right now. And you don't know what trades are out there, so you can't say whether they should trade him or not.
Rondo draws the foul. Tom Thibodeau does not like that call. So you think even Danny Ainge right now doesn't think that they can win the title this year? If they get healthy, get into the playoffs with their experience?
No, I think absolutely he doesn't. Again, he's watching with his eyes. He sees, and that's no knock on the Celtics. They're still a good team, but they're no more of a championship team than Orlando or Indiana or Atlanta. No. Everything would have to go incredibly right, including some injuries to the teams that are better than them.
Right.
So to say there's no chance, you can't say that. But I think if Danny Ainge is evaluating it and he's talking to his ownership, he's certainly saying, look, we're a good team. We're a capable team. Could we spring an upset? Absolutely. Could we do it for 4 consecutive series? No.
Right. That's the difficult part, especially if you have to go through both of Miami and Chicago, in addition to maybe a first-round matchup against a team like Indiana or Philadelphia.
And you look at their depth. They're missing Brandon Bass, who's a big, important factor off the bench offensively, and Jermaine O'Neal's still a very good defender. But they don't have the firepower offensively that they once had.
Noah, crowd wanted to travel. Boozer drives, strip, but a reach-in foul on Garnett with 1 second remaining on the shot clock.
But those were some great closeouts by Kevin Garnett against Boozer to take away his jump shot and make him put the ball on the ground. He's still an elite defender. He guards the pick and roll, closes out, good skip pass. Clogs the lane, closes out again. You don't find too many 7-footers who make those type of multiple efforts.
Well, he's a smart defender, and as you always use the phrase, and a willing defender every second he's out there. Celtics by 7. 5 minutes gone by here in the third. Pierce trying to get away from Noah. Rondo, nice fake, lost it. And I got caught on his hip, and a turnover.
And it starts again with Noah's ability one-on-one to guard a premier perimeter player in Pierce and not get beat off the dribble.
Pierce went for the steal. Luol Deng gets his first field goal of the game. The Bulls All-Star 1 of 7. And despite, again, the huge disparity in the shooting percentage, Chicago hanging around. Ray Allen trying to get going. And Ray Allen with his first field goal. Hard to imagine these two terrific scores, both with their first field goal here in the third quarter. Watson. Brewer. Boozer gets inside and gets it to go. Boozer 16 points to lead Chicago. Rose just looks miserable sitting there. Please put me in, coach.
I'm surprised he's, with as bad a back spasms as he has, that he's sitting the whole time. I'm surprised they don't have him laying down in the back.
Garnett and Noah having some words after the play. They've had words.
I love that they don't love each other. That's great.
Not at all. Rose gets up to greet his teammates. Boston by 5.
I think that the guys in the NBA, including myself, are so passionate about giving back because majority of us came from places where it was rough growing up. As an NBA player, people are going to look up to you. Wherever city you're in, wherever city you're playing for, just giving back, knowing that you care, I think that's the biggest thing. The way I look at it, when you give, you shall receive, and that's how it's supposed to be.
The youngest MVP ever, Derrick Rose, sitting out with the back spasms, signed that $94 million contract this year. Every time he either gets a new contract or gets an award, he thanks his mom, and she's right there, first row of the press conference. He is everything that's right about the NBA.
He just has a rare humility. He never talks when he's not successful that he needs better teammates or that he wants to go someplace else when they were 500. You know, he wasn't talking about planning his own exit.
And Rondo wanted a timeout, but because he had crossed, I don't think they're going to give it to him. He
can't do it jumping up in the air. That's the Doc Rivers rule.
Right.
Doc Rivers, his coach, used to make a living out of that in New York by calling that, and that was a great rule change.
Once you cross over the sideline or baseline, up in the air, they won't give it to you. Watson knocks it down. By the way, again, Rose, I've said this several times, he just looks so sad sitting on the bench. He's a day-to-day right now with that back spasms. Allen comes off the screen. Juwan Johnson back in for the Celtics. Shot clock down to 8. Rondo hits again. He's hit several perimeter jump shots. And Rondo now with 21, 8, and 6. 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Noah with the finish.
That's a very nice pass by C.J. Watson. Good setup of the pick and roll, and then off the dribble, threads the needle to the rolling Noah.
Rondo outside. Johnson, he's hit some jumpers already. That one way short. Wilcox another rebound. Ray Allen for 3, in and out. And Joakim Noah, his 7th board. Boozer against the rookie. They're going to call a travel. Just took that extra step. 8 turnovers for Chicago. Tom Thibodeau does not agree. Yeah, he traveled. Now, you could say he got hit, but he traveled. Good help from Watson. Rondo finds room.
Instead of Rondo using the screen, he sets the screen, which is a very unusual concept. Point guard setting the screen. Miscommunication, got the ball back from Pierce and drove the gap easily.
He's a very smart player. Ball knocked loose. And a foul called. Noah once again in the middle with Watson. And free throws coming up for Chicago.
Well, here he sets the pick on the ball. C.J. Watson gets strung out. So when the ball's passed back to Rondo, there's no help by either Bulls big guy. Right there, see, those are the type of plays where Boozer gets criticized, Mike. The ball's coming straight at him. Instead of blocking the shot or taking a charge, he just allows a driving guard to go in. Offensively, to me, he's so very skilled. And they need it. And they need, Tom Thibodeau has to have the confidence to play him in those grinded out brawl type of games that the play is one possession and physical and nasty. But he hurts his coach's confidence in him when you watch plays like that. He's got to make that next rotation. He's got to step up. He's got to block a shot, take a charge, or even, Mike, Rondo's a poor free throw shooter.
Foul.
Put him to the ground.
Right. Now, in many games, he doesn't play down the stretch. Taj Gibson, who is a very good defensive player, not certainly what Boozer does offensively, but he plays a lot of the minutes down the stretch of games. Sometimes all fourth quarters. Johnson, a little fake. Pierce up top, Rondo. That's a three. And Boozer another rebound. The Chicago Bulls shooting just 39% to 54 for Boston within 4. They are hanging around. Noah drives, left-handed shot won't go. Wilcox another rebound. 7 boards for Wilcox. Pierce, nice fake, and the pull-up. And a loose ball foul will go against the Boston Celtics, who will have a timeout. Goes against Wilcox. Boston by 4 here in the third. Celtics by 4, 2:45 remaining here in the third. Doc Rivers, the head coach of the Boston Celtics, and the father of Austin Rivers of Duke. We just had a great father moment with his son.
I was pretty sure he was going to shoot the ball. I mean, that's what he was going to do. I just wanted it to go in, honestly. That was my only thought. With 6 seconds left, and when he backed up, there was no doubt he was going to shoot the ball. And I'm thinking to myself, just go in. Just go in. That's all I was thinking. And so it was great. It was as a parent, I don't know if there's a better moment.
Celebrating with his daughter, Callie, father of 4. Really doesn't get much better as a dad.
Utter joy. Because parenting is not easy, obviously. So when you can have those moments of great joy, that was awesome. And to see his sister there, too.
Right.
Was,
so happy for her little brother.
And she was a heck of a volleyball player in her own right at the University of Florida.
Meanwhile, a heck of a defensive play from Dang, knocking it. Bulls coming right back. Boozer has Rondo on him. Now Garnett double teams. Watson, extra pass, Korver. Doesn't need time to release it. Tipped and taken by Garnett. Rondo sidesteps and draws the foul. Rondo's going to go back to the free throw line, doing a good job getting there as we listen to some recent huddles.
Keep digging, man. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Keep fighting every loose ball. Make it hard on them. Make them hard. Got to play our defense. We got to close this quarter out, and it's big. We got to stretch this game. Close this quarter out.
They're without question the two coaches whose voice just get raspy. They lose their voice every game. Your brother's up there in terms of by the end of the game losing his voice.
What's that, the all raspiest voice list?
It's every game. But what a job Thibodeau has done. What he did with Doc Rivers, helping with the defense, winning that championship in 2008, and finally getting his chance to be a head coach in the NBA after all those years as an assistant.
And you think about it, Mike, as the Celtics get a free throw rebound. Chicago was 41 and 41 the 2 years previous to Tom getting hired. Who would have thought they would be 85 and 26 since he's been hired? That's a remarkable statement about how valuable he's been as a coach.
Yep. Best record last year, 62 wins. Best record this year, 23 and 6. Lucas gets inside, trying to bang. Maybe didn't try to bang. Garnett, quick outlet, Rondo. Rondo drives to the lane and puts it in. Celtics back up by 7, 26 for Rondo.
when you back up against him in transition, it's very difficult. They're picking him up way too low.
Inside pass, Dang can't finish. Good second effort from Luol Deng.
That's the action that the Utah Jazz under Jerry Sloan used to run for Boozer. Good read by Korver to hit Dang on a little duck in.
Garnett open. Garnett's played well, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 block shots. Only taken 6 shots, he's hit 5 of them. Noah wants the ball. Shot clock down to 5. Lucas hoists one up. Rebound Boozer, loose ball foul on Johnson. And the Celtics, their 14th foul. 4th foul on the rookie. Johnson's played 24 minutes, 6 points, a couple of rebounds. Steamsman's played as well. With no Jermaine O'Neal and no Brandon Bass.
They've gotten great contributions off the bench by their backup bigs.
And Wilcox as a starter. Lucas catch, shoot, hits. 3-pointer for John Lucas. And every time Boston looks like they might pull away a little bit, Chicago bounces right back. Shot clock and game clock nearly identical. Rondo's had a huge game. 3 to shoot. Rondo drives inside and draws the foul on Noah. They're in the penalty. And here's when you know Rondo's so active. This is going to be his 8th and 9th free throw attempt of the game. He has done a superb job. 26 points, 9 assists. This was Toronto. He just, like the rest of his team, played poorly. And lost to the Raptors. They've lost 2 in a row coming in. And have come out like you would expect a team that was a little ornery to come out. Now 5 of 8 from the line. Steamsman checks in. Garnett's going to get a breather. And Garnett keeps grabbing that left hip. He's also, Garnett's on the All-NBA sweat team. Patrick Ewing was like that too. Man, he could sweat.
Derived out of a lot of effort.
Yep. Noah, nice pass to Lucas. Lucas puts up the 3. Well, that's a nice play out of that, setting up Lucas for a pretty good look. And that will end the third quarter. Rondo with 28 points, 12 of them coming here in this third period. He also has 9 assists and 6 rebounds as this presentation of NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
End of this game, he also has double the field goal attempts of everybody else on the team. How do you view that?
Because we're running, we're pushing the ball up the floor. Listen, we're shooting like 53%. They're shooting 38, but it's still a close game. And it's really loose balls, our turnovers, and offensive rebounds. So we got to do a better job there.
Normally, fourth quarter, you expect the Bulls to go through Derrick Rose. What changes about what you expect from them?
Well, they're moving the ball. They're just playing to the hot hand, and we got to expect that. So let's not let anyone get hot. That would be nice.
All right, Doris. Teams exchange turnovers. Wilcox gets a nice feed and then throws it away. There are 3 turnovers in the first half minute of this fourth quarter. 6-point lead right now for Boston. Their largest lead, 11. That was in the first half. Luol Deng can't hit. Ashik had it, lost it. Gibson right there comes up short. Gibson again, and a foul on Boston. It's going to go, I believe, against Wilcox. That's 5 on Wilcox.
And that's very unusual shot distribution. Having your point guard have triple the amount of attempts as your other 3 main players. But Chicago, C.J. Watson has 16 shot attempts.
Lucas pass inside to a Sheik. Shot blocked and a jump ball.
And Mike, I mentioned this earlier in the game. Sheik has to be able to catch that and get up quicker and quick dunk it, or be able to dunk it with his left where his body protects the ball. Always bringing the ball back to your right exposes it to block shots.
Omer Sheik, the second-year player from Turkey, who had a nice rookie season last year, even better this year. Lucas can go back and get it. Shot clock at 14. Celtics, by the way, have 9 block shots in the game. Lucas got to get going. Bradley, good defense. Petrus helps out. Lucas, short. Gibson trying to grab it. Wilcox comes out of the pack. Tough rebound in traffic. So it's Bradley, Wilcox, Juwan Johnson, Petrus, and Ray Allen. Shot clock down to 7. Johnson, hand in his face, way off. And a 24-second violation. A couple of good defensive sequences at both ends of the floor.
And a couple horrible offensive sequences. But if you look on the floor, only Ray Allen would be a first option type of guy. Right now, the Celtics are just trying to buy some time.
Dang. Feed inside to Gibson. Gibson misses. Sheik's pit won't go. Knocked away by Johnson. Picked up by Petrus.
And that's the second easy attempt Gibson's missed here early in the fourth.
Avery Bradley. Johnson not shy. Makes his move. Flips it up with the right hand. Rebound tipped and taken by Gibson. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Lucas on the drive, kicks it out. Nice feed. Gibson wide open. And it's a 4-point game. Timeout, Boston. Gibson gets his first field goal. Good penetration from Lucas.
Well, John Lucas did a good job turning the corner off this transition pick and roll play. Did a nice job finding the open Taj Gibson. Bulls cut the lead to 4.
NBA Friday on ESPN. Coming up, Mavericks and Sixers from Philly, and Suns and the Lakers from the Staples Center. All starts off Kia NBA Countdown at 7:30. Let's listen to Doc Rivers urging on his team here to try and get this victory.
It's a 6-point game. We're shooting 57%. How is the game still close? Loose ball. Loose ball, all right? Loose balls, offensive rebounds, hustle points. That's the only area we're losing the game in.
Right now by 4. Allen hits a 3. Big bucket. Just a second field goal for Ray Allen and just a second three-pointer for Boston.
They ran that same play out of a timeout against the Lakers for Ray Allen late in that game. Got the same shot, and he knocked that one in too.
Corver can't connect. Rondo with another rebound, his 7th. He's 3 boards away from a triple-double. Johnson pass. Allen this time. Blocked by a Sheik. He could have blocked that one with his elbow.
Well, with the Sheik and Gibson in the game, the Bulls have great basket protection. Good rotation across the lane by a Sheik. Great block shot.
Rondo, Garnett, Juwan Johnson, Ray Allen, and Pierce. Petrus sits down. C.J. Watson back in for Chicago. Again, no Derrick Rose this afternoon. Missing his 2nd straight with the back spasms. Allen on the drive, flips it up and in. Big back-to-back buckets for Ray Allen. The lead is 9.
And that's a great read by Allen because Sheik was fronting the low post against Garnett, and so when he drove at baseline, Sheik could not get off of Garnett's body and help on the penetration like he did in the previous possession.
This equals the largest lead of the second half. Watson to Corver. Corver for 3. Again, every time Boston starts to get a little momentum, Chicago hits a big shot, and that's a huge three-pointer. Celtics trying to snap a two-game losing streak, a very tough close loss against the Lakers, and then a bad performance against the Raptors. This one would hurt. Nice play. As Johnson gets in there.
Again, Ray Allen's movement off the ball forced a switch, which put the smaller Korver on Johnson. Johnson's played well today at both ends of the floor.
Ron Johnson, a rookie from Purdue, with one of his better performances. Shot clock at 5. C.J. Watson flips it up. Difficult shot won't go. Boozer the rebound. Follow shot won't go. Taj Gibson, excuse me. And here comes Rondo. Pierce sets. That's a three. Puts it in. And that equals the largest lead of the afternoon. Timeout, Chicago.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Well, Boston's on a mini spurt. Ray Allen started it out with his movement along the baseline. Great balance on the pull-up. Next possession, Ashik's fronting Garnett. Allen sees it, drives it baseline into his little pull-up. And then Rondo, good job spotting Pierce in transition for the three. Boston started the game 1 of 10 from 3, made their last 2. It's the power of the 3 to give you some separation.
Watson tries a 3. Garnett chips it away from North, and Celtics hold on. And this equals the largest lead of the game. Still 7 minutes remaining. Allen to Garnett. Pierce, difficult shot, rolls off the rim. Watson 5 of 18, by the way, from the field. Starting point guard with no Derrick Rose today. Luol Deng, too strong. Garnett, another rebound. Strong game for Garnett. 13 points on 5 of 6 from the field. 11 rebounds, 4 block shots. Garnett hand in his face, and Boozer pulls it in.
If it doesn't change around quickly for Chicago, I would expect them to go to Deng at the 4 and downsize and try to get Korver back in the game.
Korver right now on the bench. Brewer draws the foul. Got Ray Allen up in the air. Derrick Rose out with the back spasms as Brewer will get to the free throw line. Let's take a look at our NBA national television big board. The game's coming up Tuesday on NBA TV. Heat and Pacers from Indiana, Washington at Portland. Thursday on TNT, these two teams will meet again in Chicago, then the Clippers in Portland. And then next Sunday on ABC, the Mavs and the Knicks in Orlando playing in Miami. In Orlando last night, getting a nice win. Jason Richardson, 9 3-pointers.
9 of 11. Again, Mike, the power of the 3. They made 15 threes, 10 in the second half.
You so often just live and die by the three-pointer. 10-point game midway through the 4th.
A little soft trap by Boozer to try to disrupt the rhythm and flow of Boston.
Rondo's been given the shot. He's been hitting it, not that time. Wilcox to Allen. Allen misfires. No one nearly tipped it in. Doc Rivers has to love Wilcox activity here this afternoon in his first start of the season. Boozer stolen by Rondo. Rondo alley-oop to Johnson. Largest lead of the game off a terrific defensive play from Rajon Rondo. And his 13th assist. Deflected again. active hands from the Celtics. Alley-oop again! Boston Celtics finally with some breathing room, a 14-point lead. Rajon Rondo and the Celtic defense terrific here in the fourth.
Good offense from great defense. Good steal by Rondo. And then Johnson just beats the Chicago Bigs down the floor and finishes. And then Wilcox starts underneath the rim, runs by Boozer. Just more effort, more will, and finishes on a great pass from Rondo. That's great offense by the Celtics. That is poor effort by the bigs of the Bulls after the initial turnovers were committed on 2 consecutive possessions.
Beaten down the floor. And now Boston by 14. Boozer, the open jump shot. That won't go. Wilcox a rebound and a loose ball foul call against the Celtics. And if it's against Wilcox, he's done.
And this is what I'm talking about. You see the lead that Boozer starts with. Wilcox just runs right by him. See, those are the plays, Mike, that as a coach you cannot tolerate. They break down the utter fabric of what you stand for. Players make you confront them when they give that little effort.
And Boston Celtics just out hustling them there. Boozer turnaround shot. That one goes. The fans were chanting Scalabrine, the reserve for the Chicago Bulls and a former member of the Celtics who was a huge fan favorite. Rondo, season-high assists. Flips it up. That shot won't go. Boozer the rebound. Bumped. And a loose ball foul is going to go against Rondo. Celtics not in a penalty yet. That's their 4th. There's still 4:27 remaining. Rondo 28 points, 14 assists, 7 rebounds. And a couple of steals as well. Luol Deng to Boozer. Boozer left open, hesitates, now drives, goes inside. Offensive foul. Jawan Johnson playing the most minutes he's played in the NBA. The rookie with 32 minutes this afternoon with another nice play.
Well, Boozer had an initial shot. He passed it up. He put it on the floor. Good rotation by Johnson.
And he's learned the NBA flop very well.
It wasn't a lot of contact,
but he's played well. 10 points, 4 rebounds, couple of good defensive plays here. Pierce's shot blocked. The follow won't go. Rondo couldn't get it to fall. Noah ahead to Watson. Watson for 3. That's good. And it's back to single digits with 3:48 remaining. Watson, 6 of 19. No Rose today for the Bulls, out with the back spasms. Rondo. Johnson knocks it down. What a game for the rookie. And not only with a season-high 33 minutes, but also now a season-high 12 points.
When you get your chance, are you ready? Johnson's been ready, and he's delivered at both ends.
Watson, good move by Watson. And Doc Rivers showing some real confidence in him here down in the 4th quarter. Obviously no Bass, no O'Neal. Rondo trapped in the backcourt, deflected and stolen. Noah, bad pass, threw it right to Pierce. Under 3 minutes remaining. And a foul on Noah is once again Wilcox beating the Bulls down the floor.
The turnovers have killed Chicago here in the 4th quarter because they've led directly to scoring opportunities for the Celtics. Give the Celtics a lot of credit. Down men, tight game, found a way to force the Bulls into mistakes and then converted them into points.
Wilcox misses the first. Wilcox in his first start of the season, 10 points, 9 rebounds. Noah sits down. Korver back in. Just an excellent job for the veteran Chris Wilcox, and did it at both ends of the floor. Meanwhile, Jawan Johnson with his best game in his brief NBA career, the rookie from Purdue. Season high in minutes, season high in points, and some clutch fourth quarter plays. Wilcox 1 of 2. 10-point game, 2:46 remaining.
And the Bulls have downsized, playing 4 smalls. Dang's at the 4.
Nice feed inside. Watson made a good play. Boozer with 18. Check that 20 for Boozer. Brewer with the steal. Throws it inside. Boozer left-handed puts it in, and it's a 6-point game. Timeout Celtics. Every time Boston looks like they're going to put it away, Chicago bounces back.
A nice soft trap. It's a second forced turnover with a little bit of pressure. Good read by Ronnie Brewer to strip Wilcox and then go and push on the break. Chicago on 11-3 run to cut it to 6.
Get ready, Oscar Sunday is coming. Billy Crystal hosts the Academy Awards with the biggest stars in the world: Tom Cruise, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, Halle Berry, just to name a few. Plus the always outrageous after party with Jimmy Kimmel. It's all live. Oscar Sunday, February 26th on ABC. Rajon Rondo with a brilliant performance here this afternoon, Jeff.
Those numbers are off the charts and very needed. And he's hurt him in a bunch of different ways. The little floater in transition off a pick and roll. He's the screener. He catches it on a little flare and drives it to the basket. And Mike, the one thing that was a common denominator on all his scoring plays, he was in the attack mode. He was pushing the ball and being very aggressive, very decisive.
Right from the opening tip, nice fake. Garnett off the mark. Rondo knocks it out of bounds, and the Bulls still very much alive. Remember, they have on the floor 2 of the better three-point shooters in the league, Watson and Korver, although they don't need to shoot the threes yet.
But the threat of the 3, the way they can spread the floor now, makes it very difficult to defend.
Watson, a 2-pointer, and it's a 4-point game, under 2 minutes remaining. Watson now with 21. He's got 7 here in the fourth. Rondo, pull-up jumper, off the mark. Rebound, Luol Deng, and a loose ball foul on Pierce, and that's the 15th foul. Free throws for Chicago. That's 4 on Pierce, and a 14-point lead with under 5 minutes remaining could be cut to 2. For Rondo, an early shot in the shot clock. Luol Deng, 1 for 2 from the line this afternoon.
If that's the play call to run a high pick and roll and you don't shoot that, then they should give it to somebody else. Because to me, you're wide open. You've made a couple of these tonight. I'm not saying that Chicago doesn't mind it, but if you're not shooting that, then you should.
So you have to, even if it's early in the shot clock at this point in the game.
Yeah, what are you going to do, run the clock out? Because if you're not going to shoot that one, it's hard enough to get a quality shot against a good defensive team like Chicago. To get a second one, you pass up one to get another one. The bigger issue is fouling 94 feet away. And then Boozer doing the same thing.
A loose ball foul against Boozer. As you mentioned, the lead is 3 with 1:43 remaining. Chicago with their 14th foul. 5 fouls on Boozer.
See, to do it in the penalty, Mike, giving the Bulls easy 3 points, you don't want that. I like this combination pick and roll late with Pierce running the pick and roll with Garnett.
This is the closest the Bulls have been in the second half. Pierce, pull up. It's good. What shot from Pierce. Timeout, Chicago. Pierce with just 9 points, but as always, in the fourth quarter, he wants to take the big shot.
And this is his shot. Coming off to his left, Boozer lays back, into the paint. And that's just a little pocket jump shot that Pierce has made his living on. Great screen by Garnett. See, that's the undertold story about that play. Yeah, the shot is beautiful, but the screen gives him the separation to walk into that pull-up.
Right now, the Celtics trying to hold on. They blew a 14-point lead. It was cut to 3. But a big bucket here from Pierce.
This is the unselfishness that you try to get your team to do. Look at the solid body-to-body screen. So many of the screeners today, people are slipping out early because they don't want the contact. Garnett doesn't mind it. Big-time screen, big-time shot. Still the hardest play to guard in professional basketball.
Here you see right now what's left in terms of timeouts. Chicago down to 1. Celtics have a couple, and it's obviously still way too early for Chicago to start thinking about having to get a 3 here.
Absolutely. You want to spread the floor, make the Celtics guard to the three-point line so it opens up the paint area for the attack, whether it's a roll to the rim on a pick and roll or the drive.
On the floor for Chicago, Luol Deng, who's just 2 of 11 this afternoon. Kyle Korver, Ronnie Brewer, C.J. Watson, and Carlos Boozer. Derrick Rose not playing today because of the back spasms. Bulls have hung in there. This is the 9th game of a 9-game road trip. They've fallen behind by double figures. Keep fighting back, but do they have enough to get over the hump? Watson comes up to get it. C.J. Watson. And a foul. It's going to go against the Celtics.
Rondo.
Yeah.
He was switched out onto Deng. Deng did a good job by rolling into the post, and Rondo got called for the hold.
He's grabbed him by that left arm. So Deng back to the free throw line. Exactly what Chicago wants right now, be able to score with the clock stopped. Noah's going to come in for defensive purposes. Well, here comes Noah. Boozer will sit down. Deng's a good solid free throw shooter, 76% for his career. Boozer the leading scorer meanwhile for Chicago with 22. Deng hits a pair, back to 3 with 1:20 remaining here in the 4th quarter. A good one between 2 Eastern Conference heavyweights. Bulls with the best record in the NBA, a 5-game winning streak on the line. Pierce on the drive, goes at Deng. Hits the back of the backboard, out of bounds, Chicago ball. Boozer's going to come back in.
Yep.
Off Noah, off Deng, and then Pierce was out of bounds when it touched him, so it is Chicago ball. 1:04 remaining.
I think Pierce, when he gets the ball in the wing against Deng right now, should always use the pick on the ball with Garnett to get him some separation.
Luol Deng looking. Watson makes his move, drives inside, running shot, difficult one, no good. Garnett the rebound. The Celtics have led this entire game. Largest lead 14 with just under 5 minutes remaining, trying to hold on, and the crowd getting on their feet to urge them on. Pierce, bad pass, threw it away, Boozer has it. And Chicago calls timeout. Watson was all alone down the other end. They didn't see him. And instead they used their final timeout with 27.6 remaining. Turnover there for the Celtics at the worst possible time. Bulls out of timeouts now. Well, they've got a chance here. Down by 3.
Well, they were trying to force the switch of Korver onto Pierce. C.J. Watson disregarded Rondo and came up the double team. And again, Boozer did the instinctive thing, which is to call timeout, but he should have at least surveyed the floor and seen the pass ahead, which would have cut it to 1.
Watson was all alone down the other end. Now Chicago with a chance. All right, now, Jeff, they're out of timeouts. 27.6 a lot of time. Are you looking for the 3 here or a quick 2? Because if you get the quick 2, then you're going to have to foul and hope the Celtics miss free throws.
You need the threat of the 3, but you're trying to score as quickly as possible. Getting the ball in bounds against Rondo is very problematic. He's got great anticipation. But conversely, if he gets the ball after you score a 2, you can foul him because he has such a poor track record from the free throw line.
John Lucas has checked back in, so it's Lucas, Korver, Gibson, Boozer, and Dang on the floor for the Chicago Bulls. Lucas over to Watson. Watson puts it up. Short, no good. Rebound and a foul as Rondo's going to go to the free throw line after getting his 9th rebound of the game. And with 21.5 remaining, Rajon Rondo will shoot 2.
Thought the play was well designed. But to me right there, C.J. Watson, that's a low percentage shot. You've got to drive that.
You got a 6'6" Petrus draped over you.
Yeah, you're just not going to get a quality look. Use another pick and roll, drive it.
Big free throw there. That makes it a 2-possession game. And it was a 2-pointer. His foot was on the line. It wasn't even like it was a 3-pointer. Rondo, meanwhile, with 6 assists here in this 4th quarter for the game. 29, 15 assists, and 9 rebounds. And 2 clutch free throws right there. 5-point game. Bulls out of timeouts. They need 1 quick score. Watson now on the drive, gets inside, blocked but foul. With 11.9 remaining. I believe it's on Michael Petrus, his 2nd. Tom Thibodeau giving instructions as Watson now can cut it to 3. And then obviously if he hits these 2, Chicago will have to foul again. Looked like he was saying 1 trap and then foul. Try and maybe get a steal first. As Watson knocks down another free throw. 22 for Watson. Celtics have led the whole game by 11 in the first half. By 14 late in the 4th. Bulls have battled back every time, but have not been able to get over the hump. And that's a critical miss. Rondo grabs it and is fouled. That keeps it a 2-possession game. Rondo's rebound completes a triple-double. And the Celtic fans giving their team a standing ovation. For Rondo, 30 points, 15 assists, and 10 rebounds.
I think this game speaks very well to both teams. The response by the Celtics and Chicago, even though they struggled all game to shoot the ball well, finding a way to continue to battle back and give themselves an opportunity to win the game.
And again, doing it without Derrick Rose. Rose sitting this one out with the back injury. This game ends a 9-game road trip for the Chicago Bulls. And for Boston, after those 2 tough losses, with this heartening one to the Lakers when it went right down to the wire, and then the bad loss to Toronto, this would have been a tough one to swallow, especially when they had that early lead and led the entire game. Kevin Garnett fired up. He played well. 13 points and 12 rebounds. Rondo was sensational, and they got huge play from their bench. Juwan Johnson, the rookie. Chris Wilcox, normally a bench player, started.
Yeah, and I like this strategy by Chicago. They cut themselves. They're out of timeouts. They made themselves bleed, so they get a 30-second timeout.
Ah.
Now, you know what?
Knowing the
this
rules.
rule should be changed. You should not be able to get a free timeout. You should have to substitute late.
So very smart.
They get a timeout for nothing.
Right, they are.
I'm going to have everybody cut myself when I'm out of timeouts if I go back to coaching.
Coming up on ESPN from Atlanta, LeBron James and the Heat playing the Atlanta Hawks, who played extremely well. Part of a doubleheader tonight on ESPN. All right, 9.8. Bulls would need a miracle finish here. Obviously, they've got to put up a 3. Watson to Dang. Dang fakes. He's going to drive, and that with 2.4 remaining. And Boston just has to inbound. They do to Petrus. Petrus fouled with 1.5 left, but the Celtics are going to get this one. And a very important victory for Boston. A terrific bounce-back game against the team with the best record in the NBA. And Chicago will drop to 23-7. And the Celtics will improve to 15-12. They'll meet again Thursday. That game will be on TNT, and it'll be in Chicago. The Bulls are going to be so happy to be home. 9-game road trip, and they're going to finish 6-3 on the trip. Meanwhile, Doc Rivers very pleased with the energy and the effort right from the start, led by his point guard, Rajon Rondo. And there's the final score. Good win for the Celtics. As Rondo with a triple-double, 32 points, 15 assists, 10 rebounds. For Jeff Van Gundy, Doris Burke, and our entire ABC crew, Mike Green saying so long from Boston. Now except on the West Coast, stay tuned for ABC's World News or your local news over most of these stations. And thanks for watching ABC, home of the NBA Finals.